I'm always wary because just part of my own story is that I founded
Mm-hmm.
Skycorp in 1998
Right.
at the behest of a friend of mine who worked for a venture capitalist who wanted to capitalize on the small satellite market. And we had a idea for a small satellite constellation for basically what we now call the IoT market.
Mm.
And we'd already had a term sheet, had $110 million investment. We'd already signed the term sheets, everything. We were just going through the final paperwork, and Iridium goes bankrupt. And the investors pulled the money.
Mm.
And so that created a collapse of other small satellite constellations, which created a collapse in the reusable launch market, which destroyed the confidence of the market in space for many years. And is only through really the efforts of our friend Elon and people like Jeff Bezos is putting money in this himself, no matter what, that market confidence has returned, and with the advance in avionics, and I think the advance in avionics has been a key enabler
Mm.
for the very small satellites over time here. And so it's a little different than before in that we have Elon now and we have a lower launch cost, but launch cost isn't everything
Mm.
because, and I had this discussion with Elon in 2002, it was either 2002, 2003 when he was starting SpaceX. I said, if launch was free, if you were giving your launch vehicles away, there would still be an issue in the market of
Mm.
being able to, one, catch up with free rockets and create
Mm.
new opportunities. So at the end of the day, the driver for space is what is your applications in space to make money. Uh, and so launch costs, and Tori Bruno, if you follow on Twitter right here lately, Tori has talked about this, is that launch for most systems is a small part of the overall cost of a system that goes out there to make money.
Mm.
So, but what is different today is that we do have a much greater launch frequency with Elon's system being there, with ULA being there, with Jeff Bezos going to be coming on board with his system here very soon. Um, and but the problem that is still there is the market demand. We've just had a bankruptcy of OneWeb, and they're going away. There are several other non-Starlink satellite constellations that, especially due to the economics and everything going on right now with the pandemic, are going to be problematic. I'm already seeing layoffs in the small satellite world. I'm already seeing a similar trend line, but at the end of the day, it's going to end up with the market pull. I see some help from the government. The Department of Defense, in particular, is much more proactive
Mm.
than they were 20 years ago in wanting to support new opportunities and new methodologies in space. And to me, it's mindset is that are there people out there willing to risk investment cash? Because there are economic models that will work, but it's getting the right cash to the right idea to execute.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where I think we're at today. Um, there's, and the government is very helpful right now. I'm still a little wary of NASA's beyond low Earth orbit, but NASA is doing a much better job at supporting commercialization today. And I want to congratulate Dr. Alex McDonald, a friend of mine, who is now the program executive for low Earth orbit commercialization. So, and when I started in this in 1998, the head of commercialization for all of NASA was a program exec buried in the food chain at JSC, even though both George Abbey and Dan Golden were very supportive of commercial space at the time. Other factors kind of precluded us from going in the direction that we're going today. And so to sum up, I think we're in a much better position, but it is a precarious position that we're at that could still go south on us if we don't watch ourselves.
All right. Well, thank you for your perspective. I'm curious what your cat's name is, Dennis.
That's only one of them. That's Kirk.
Okay.
And then there's Dax and Veer and Spock and Mimri, and they're all floating around here right now.
Very, very cool.
Kirk may actually make an appearance here.
All right. Well, that's okay then.
It wouldn't be the first time he's done that in an interview.
Right. As long as we tell the audience what's happening, they'll be cool with it. More engineers are not going to solve your problem. It's not a technical problem in that sense. It's a process problem. And the time to fix your processes was 20 months ago. And the second best time is today. This is Jason Kanigan, the president of Cold Star Technologies and the host of this podcast, the Cold Star Project, which is all about identifying and solving process problems for space companies, because that's what we do. And you can hear the entirety of this episode by following the link in the comment below.